Hey guys, so back with another episode in my layering series, and this one's kind of fun because I actually am going to go ice climbing tomorrow, and I'm going to go ice climbing on the Mountain Baker Seracs. And so while I had all my clothes laid out, I figured I'd make a video on what I would bring ice climbing, because that was my intended video anyway. First thing is footwear. This is a good part of your layering system for ice climbing. You want boots that you can actually ice climb in, and so they help add quite a bit of insulation to your feet. My socks with those boots, and I definitely have the boots size for these socks, are, like I say in my other videos, mid-weight socks, and then they help keep my foot warm along with the boots. Usually I like warmer boots. These ones come with an integrated gaiter. But if I wanted to add a little bit of warmth, like if I was climbing in my Nepals, then I could just bring a extra gaiter with those boots. Working up from the footwear is the legs. And so I'm going to have classic boxers for wicking sweat. Ice climbing pants. These can be kind of hard to come across for me because I want ones that fit my legs really well. I have short legs, and so it can be kind of hard to find pants. These are Mountain Hardwear pants. I'm pretty sure they just discontinued these, but any sort of mountaineering, technical alpine climbing pant works. I like these ones because they have, they're a bit thicker than my other alpine pants. I also have another pair of pants by Cool, the company that's Khul, and they work very well also for that sort of setup. These are Softshell Pants, and we are expecting quite a bit of rain and snow on the glacier, so I'm also going to have my rain pants with me for protection against the rain. I don't always bring those out while ice climbing, especially if we're in an area of high pressure or warmth, or no rain. Then I won't bring the rain pants with me. Sometimes I'll have them in my backpack, just in case. But generally, I don't bring these when we're not expecting bad weather, especially since it's just a day trip, and so. No matter what, you're always going back to the car, right? That's pretty much it for my lower body systems. Occasionally, you may want to think about wearing long underwear. I'm not going to wear this unless it's like super cold. And I've never really been ice climbing yet in times where it's super cold. Maybe negative temperatures or in the teens or something, that I would pull these out. But for this trip, I'm not going to deal with them. Moving on to upper body, this shirt probably won't see the light of day except for if I get really hot while approaching, but I got my moisture wicking base layer, and so that'll just be there to manage my sweat. I'm gonna go with my more lightweight fleece fleece jacket just because of for the sake of managing the heat that I produce while working hard. And then for the next layer above, I have a couple options. I can either go with this more moving insulation layer with the sort of more of that Polytech fleece, I think, or merino wool, whatever this is. Or I can go with a more synthetic, more heavyweight layer. And just because of the temperatures we're getting, I'm gonna go with the more heavyweight layer, especially since it's kind of a good combo to put with this thing underneath it. I think that it helps trap a lot of heat and keep me pretty warm. So I guess I'll just be the guy in red all day, huh? Yeah, maybe I'll switch the color of this. Look at this, it's all red. I need to get some other colored jackets. Oh, but adding another red layer, I'm gonna go with this raincoat as opposed to my more bomb-proof raincoat. So this is like the 4A, it's my most bomb-proof raincoat. And I'm gonna go with this one mainly because I wanna see how well this climbs. I think this coat stretches a bit more in like the arms and when you're reaching up with your tools than this one does. So I'm going to test this one out and see if that is the case where I get some stretches, where it stretches a bit better. I get more flexibility while climbing. I know OR just came out with another coat that's about $300, I think, or if that, that actually has some stretchable material here in the shoulders and then maybe somewhere down on the side to help facilitate while you're moving your arms up with your tools and while you're climbing. But I don't know anything about that jacket and I haven't used it yet. So maybe I'll get that in the future. But for now, I want to see how well that jacket will stretch with me. Then also, I don't go anywhere without this, my puffy. And I'm going to use this puffy because it has that waterproof layer on the outside. So I can just throw this on to keep a little bit of thermal insulation. Since it is raining, the temperatures aren't going to be as desperately cold as when it's not raining because it's low pressure. The clouds help hold in the heat. But I don't go anywhere without a puffy. Everyone knows that. And so it has the puffy on the inside, raincoat on the outside. It'll help keep me warm. And it can easily fit over all these other layers. I've actually shoved a lot more layers underneath that before. So that's my upper body setup. As far as head goes, I'm not gonna bring one of these. Sometimes I do when it's colder and when it's dry, because you can put the helmet on over this and everything's all good. But since it's gonna be raining and snowing the whole time, I'm pretty much gonna be wearing a hood anyway. And so I can just put on other hoods to keep my head warm. As far as gloves go, I'm not gonna bring all these, but I wanted to show you a good selection of them. Starting from the smallest, I have these ultra thin gloves. Let's see, I throw one on my hand. And so these, a lot of ice climbers like using these for harder pitches because it gives your hands quite a bit of dexterity. You can see it still provides protection. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. You probably can, but you can feel the rubber on the inside is super grippy. So it makes it really nice to grab the tools and then grab screws and put them in. And it still just provides protection for your hands. I'll bring these out often in summer mountaineering when I want some protection for my hands, but I don't want to wear really warm gloves. After that, I'm going to jump to the other end of the spectrum and talk about these ones. These are the thickest pair of gloves I'm going to bring. There we go. It still provides some dexterity. Actually, it provides it quite a bit. I could easily take out an ice screw with these guys on, but these are more of belay gloves, just to keep my hands warm when I'm not doing too much, and maybe when I'm sitting around also not doing anything. Just a nice warm pair of gloves. These ones are also Gore-Tex, and then these ultra thin ones are definitely not Gore-Tex, but these ones help protect from the rain and the snow. Going to the middle of the pile, midweight gloves are kind of what most people, and including me, wear all day, every day. So these are the gloves that you'll wear the most, and for most types of climbs you're gonna do. So I have 3 pairs here. I'm probably only going to bring 2 pairs with me tomorrow, and then I'll also have these other 2 pairs. So I'm gonna bring 4 pairs of gloves, maybe a little bit on the extreme side. Most of the time ice climbing you'll only bring 3 gloves, but just because of the bad weather and the style of gloves I have here, I want to have an extra pair. And so I'm probably, these ones, even though they say BD dry on them, they're old enough that they don't really hold dryness anymore. So I'm gonna leave those ones behind and roll with these 2. These are the Ark Gloves, and then these are made by Outdoor Designs, but I really like the dexterity of them. Just as long as they're made for ice climbing, that's really what you want. These ones are actually kind of in between midweight and lightweight, but they still have a bit more insulative properties, and so I really like the idea of climbing with these. I don't think I've ever ice climbed with them before, but I'm going to try them out tomorrow. These gloves are also waterproof, which is really nice. I'm gonna pick up more waterproof gloves here in a little bit. They take a little bit of effort to get your hand in, but same deal. They're pretty much like these gloves, actually. More lightweight, midweight style gloves. Give you a lot of dexterity and also have the waterproofing. And so overall, you want just a selection of gloves. Midweights usually tend to be a bit looser. Yeah, here we go. Here's what this one looks like. You can see how they do have good dexterity, but they actually have a little bit of insulation. So that's kind of what you want when you find a midweight glove, is you can spread your fingers apart, work them all separately, You may not be able to play the piano with them, but they'll get the job done while still providing protection and insulation to your hands. That's what you want in a good midweight glove. All right, so that's what I would bring for a day of ice climbing in my layering system in particular. If you have anything you want to add, any other products that you think would be good, very nice to have while ice climbing, then leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you want to see a specific video for anything really regarding anything, then please comment about that too. I love to make videos based on what people suggest for me. And then I'll see you guys in the next one.